Hi, hello, I love you. My favorite comment of the week was Carly for being adorable. Today we're going to talk about one of the most basic concepts in creative writing, and that's showing versus telling and using concrete imagery in place of abstractions. Telling is when you're explaining to the reader how to understand or feel something instead of just letting them experience it, like when you label an emotion. So labeling an emotion could be, you have a character named Gabby and she's angry, so you write Gabby is angry. That's telling the reader what Gabby's feeling. You could show it by saying something like, Gabby clenched her fists until her knuckles turned white. That example is still a little bit cliche, but you can see the difference between telling someone how a character is feeling and then letting them see how she's feeling. If you have a character that's very rich and you want to convey that, you could say, he's very rich. Or you could describe his suit and talk about his really expensive lunch that he only ate a bite of and then didn't ask for its go box. So showing an emotion or a characterization through action and description is much more effective than just saying, she was angry, he was rich. Labeling emotions is kind of lazy writing, but it's also almost an insult to your reader because instead of just letting them figure out what's happening, you're like spoon feeding them every single thing that you want them to know. Let's all travel back to first grade for a second. A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. An abstraction is the idea noun. So an abstraction is something that you can't tangibly sense, so it doesn't necessarily look or feel like anything in particular. So some examples of abstractions are love, hate, poverty, racism, democracy, success, evil, innocence. So everyone might picture something whenever I say these words, but we're not picturing the same thing. So if I say freedom, one person might think of a chain being broken, one person might think of a bird flying or homework papers fluttering down from a staircase on the last day of class. But if I say a concrete image like chair, everybody knows what a chair looks like. So the difference between an abstraction and a concrete image is that an abstraction can be anything, but a concrete image is going to give everyone the mental picture of what you're trying to convey. So how can you eliminate abstractions from writing? You replace them with concrete imagery and description that is still conveying what that abstraction means to you. So I have a short story about a girl who developed PTSD after an attack, and the last lines of the story could have been, I am ashamed that I couldn't stop what happened. I blame myself and I hate that he moved on with his life and I can't. But instead, I wrote, the skin around my nails is still raw. I keep scrubbing them even though his blood is long gone and replaced by my own many times over. So in the context of the story, the ending that I used still conveys that she's ashamed of what happened and that she blames herself and that she hates that he moved on and she can't. But I didn't directly say any of those things. I just had her look at the blood on her hands. So that's an example of using concrete imagery to replace abstractions whenever you're talking about how a character is feeling or what they're thinking. But you can also show instead of tell whenever you're describing actions or scenery or setting, whatever it is. So in one story, I described my character's bedroom. I could have said, she still lives in her childhood room. It's dirty and old and she wishes she could move out. But I have a scene where she's laying on her bed and she's talking on the phone and like looking around at her room. And I put so much description right here because it's in first person and she's trying to distract herself from the phone call because she doesn't really want to be talking to this person. So it was like a natural moment for her to be looking around for distraction. The yellow tinged spot in the corner of my ceiling is growing with the heavy summer rains this year, stretching toward my ceiling fan. The fan is out of balance and squeaks and wheezes with every slow rotation, blurring glow-in-the-dark star stickers that haven't glowed in years. So you can see from that description that her room is kind of dingy. It provides setting with the summer rain, so you know what time of year it is, and the stickers don't glow anymore, so you know that she's been there for a while. And the fact that she points out that they stopped glowing kind of also gives a mood for the story because she's really like exhausted with where she is and with who she's on the phone with. Both of those examples convey everything that the first version conveyed, except it uses concrete imagery to do so. Check your writing for abstractions and as often as you can, show instead of tell, because that's going to create a richer image and it's going to make your story overall more impactful. Don't tell me the moon is shining, show me the glint of light on broken glass. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my Patreon supporter Travis. FYI, I have a Patreon page now, and if you have any ideas for pledge incentives or anything else that I could offer you guys that you might be interested in, let me know because I don't know what I'm doing and I'm totally just copying my friends right now, but we're giving it a go. Click the little bell to make sure that you're getting alerts for my new videos every Thursday, and see you next week. She walks so gently but so loudly. Saya, come here. Okay, we're having a hair day, but we're gonna make a video anyway. You see the dedication that I have for you guys?